Ciao a tutti, benvenuti o bentornati sul mio canale. Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Rachele here. Io sono Rachele and today I'm going to be teaching you how to pronounce this letter in Italian. I just want to remind you we call this letter C when doing the spelling of a word. This letter has three different pronunciations according to the other letters that come right after or before it. So today we are just going to learn the first one, and then I will make two different videos where I explain the second and third pronunciations as well. If you are new here, I suggest you go and take a look at my pronunciation playlist where I've already made some videos about the Italian alphabet, how we do the spelling in Italian, and the pronunciation of our vowels. Now that being said, let's just jump into it. So the first pronunciation of this letter is K. K. I think it's really easy to pronounce for English speakers because it's exactly the same pronunciation you have for the K letter in English. Same sound, K. What may be a bit more difficult is remembering when the Ch letter has this K pronunciation. And this is what I'm going to explain to you right now. So let's go through all 5 vowels and just see how they are combined together to create this K sound. The first sound is Ka. Ka. It's quite easy. Anytime you have Chi and then A together, you just pronounce K sound followed by the A sound, as I've explained, to create Ka. Ka. An example would be in the word casa, which means house. Casa. The second sound is Che. Che. To write down this sound, we have to use these letters: C, H, E, C, H, and then I. When combined together, these 3 letters create the Che sound. This is actually a word in Italian, C-H-E. It's a question word, and it means what, as in a question. So we pronounce it Che with a slightly upward intonation, which marks it is a question. Che. Now the next one will be Chi. This is exactly the same sound as in the key in English, the key to open the door, but the writing is quite different. We write down this Chi sound like this: C, H, I, C, H, I. Pronunciation is Chi. Now this is also a word in Italian. It is also a question word and it means who. So we pronounce this again with a slightly upward intonation, which marks it is a question. Chi. Chi. Next pronunciation is co. Co. And it is written like this: Chi, O. So anytime you just have the Chi letter followed by the O letter, you just have to pronounce the K sound followed by the vowel itself. Co. An example of this sound is in the word cosa, which means thing, as in one thing. Cosa. Lastly, the last sound is Q, Q, and it is written Ch followed by U. Q. An example of this pronunciation would be in the word cubo, cubo, which is a cube. Pay attention to the U sound. I remind you, it's very cut, short, and strong. Cu, cubo. Okay, so I'm going to repeat all 5 sounds, one after the other, and you please repeat after me. Ca, che, chi, co, cu. So you can see the pronunciation isn't really that difficult. What you have to pay attention to is the way we write down those pronunciations. So it will take some practice for you to remember that these letters combinations are associated to these sounds. I've noticed ka, ko, and ku aren't really a problem for English speakers, except maybe the difficulty of making a clear ku sound, but that's not a big deal. What's really difficult usually it's remembering that these 2 different letters combinations are pronounced ke and ki, because usually ch, ch has quite a different pronunciation in English. But this is your rule. Anytime, anytime, we have no exceptions, anytime you see ch in Italian, ch, you have to remember the right pronunciation associated with these 2 letters together is k. This is my rule. Ch equals to k sound. K. Some students of mine also wonder if the pronunciation associated with these letters together changes when we add an S in front of them. And the answer is no, never. Mai, never. Pronunciation never changes. We just have a S sound followed by the 5 sounds I have already explained. So we just add an S sound in front of them. I will pronounce them for you. Ska, ska. You can hear actually nothing strange happens here. I'm just pronouncing S and then attaching ka. Ska. For example, as in the word scale. Scale, which means stairs. Scale. Or, for example, let's try to pronounce this letter combination, which is ske. Ske. You can see again, I just pronounce s followed by ke. Ske. An example of this sound is in the word scheletro, which means skeleton. You can hear it's very similar. Scheletro. Let's move on. Ski. Ski. Again, I'm just pronouncing s and then ki. Ski. An example of this pronunciation is in the word schiena. Schiena, which is your back, this part of the body. Schiena. Again, let's move on. We have sco. Sco. S followed by co. An example of this word would be scossa. Scossa, which happens when you have an earthquake. It's this kind of thing, scossa, that is a scossa. And last, scu, scu, again, s plus cu, scu. An example is in the word scuola, which means school. You can hear again, it's very similar. Scuola, scuola. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I would like to give you a bit of a homework, which is simply to try and pronounce these words on your own based on the rules I have already taught to you. On my next video, I will start by correcting, so I will just give you the right pronunciation for these words, and then I will move on teaching the second pronunciation of the C letter. Thank you very much for watching. Grazie, grazie mille. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video and could easily understand and learn something new. If you have any questions or doubts or any comments of any kind, just write it in the comment section below. I would also like to briefly remind you I offer online Italian lessons, so if you are interested, take a look at my website or just write me an email to my email address, which is in the description box below. Grazie a tutti, ci vediamo, spero, la prossima volta. I hope to see you all on my next video. Ciao ciao!